You know that one movie, the one you can watch again and again and it never gets old? Well, what if I told you that your love for that movie isn't just some happy accident? What if it's basically science? I mean, think about a movie like The Lego Movie. It's a blast, it's super clever, for sure, but the reason it connected so deeply with so many people, that goes way, way beyond just some colorful plastic bricks. So what's the secret? What's really going on here? Well, the thing is, our connection to movies, to games, to shows, it's rarely random. It's actually designed, often with incredible care. The people who make this stuff, they know there are specific psychological buttons they can push to make what they're creating feel completely irresistible to us. And the key to unlocking all of this is a really cool idea from media studies. It's called the Uses and Gratifications Theory. And at its core is a simple but honestly game-changing idea. You're not just a passive couch potato. You're an active chooser. Yeah, this idea goes way back, all the way to 1975, when a couple of researchers, Blumler and Katz, totally flipped the old way of thinking on its head. They basically said, hey, what if we, the audience, are actually in the driver's seat? We use media to get something we need from it. You see, this was a huge shift. The old model pretty much saw us as a passive audience, kind of like sponges, right? Just sitting there, soaking up whatever the TV threw at us. But this theory says no way. We're an active audience. We choose what to watch, we engage with it, and we interpret it to satisfy some kind of personal need. Okay, so what are these needs we're trying to satisfy? Well, the theory boils them down into four main categories. And luckily for us, there's a super easy acronym to remember them. P-I-E-S. PIES. Let's dig into what that actually means. So PI stands for, P is for personal identity. That's when we see ourselves in a character or a story. I is for information, learning something new about the world. E is for entertainment. That one's easy. It's just pure fun, escapism, all that good stuff. And finally, S is for social interaction, using media as a jumping off point to connect with other people. Just think about it. Pretty much every time you pick up a remote or a controller, you're probably trying to feed one of these four needs. All right, enough theory. Let's put this into action. How does our little PIES framework explain why the Lego Movie was such a massive hit? Let's run it through the checklist. For P, personal identity, we totally get Emmett's journey from being a nobody to a hero. For I, information, the whole movie is about inspiring creativity and teamwork. For E, entertainment, yeah, it's this hilarious, colorful, fast-paced escape. And for S, social interaction, it's the perfect family movie. It gives everyone, kids and parents, something to talk about later. Boom, it checks every single box. But it doesn't just stop with the movie. This is where things get even more interesting. What happens when we look at the video game? How does an interactive experience satisfy these exact same needs? Well, in the game, everything becomes so much more direct. For personal identity, you don't just relate to Emmett, you literally become him. For information, you're actively learning the game's rules and mechanics to get to the next level. Entertainment, you're not just watching the action, you are in the action. And social interaction gets a massive upgrade through online platforms like Xbox Live, connecting you to a whole community of other players. So, you see, the video game is the perfect example of that whole active audience idea we were talking about earlier. It takes it to a whole new level. You're not just watching anymore, you're doing. You are in control. In fact, I'd argue the entire game is designed around this one principle. It literally cannot function without you, the player, being an active participant. It's not a feature, it's the entire point. And think about how it does that. You are constantly making decisions to move forward. The perspective puts you in the middle of everything, and the experience doesn't even stop when you turn the console off. It encourages you to go online, share tips, look up walkthroughs. You are fully engaged. And all of this brings us right back to that core idea, that quote that started it all. It just perfectly sums it up, doesn't it? We're not passive, we are active choosers, picking our entertainment to satisfy these deep needs for identity, information, fun, and connection. So I'll leave you with this question. The next time you get totally hooked on a show or you can't put a game down, just ask yourself, which part of PIES is this feeding for me? Are you looking for a fun escape, a character you see yourself in, or maybe a new world to share with your friends? Understanding why you love what you love, it doesn't just make you a smarter viewer, it makes the whole experience even better. And that is pretty awesome.